Developing story out of Madison, Wisconsin. Gary Anderson out at UW. The next man up, reportedly Pitt head coach Paul Chryst. Chryst is a Madison, Wisconsin native and the Badgers' former offensive coordinator. Hello and welcome to our Campus Insider Studios. I'm Shae Peppler, and while no official hire has been made, all reports point to Paul Chryst taking over the head coaching job. The Badgers' Athletic Director Barry Alvarez made a statement in regards to the reports, saying, quote, "We are continuing the process of finding our new head football coach. We have not offered the position to anyone. In accordance with the University of Wisconsin hiring policies, the earliest we can make an offer to a candidate is Wednesday, December 17th. Any accepted offer would be contingent upon approval by the UW System Board of Regents," end quote. To discuss the reported hire in more detail, let's welcome in our Wisconsin insider, Phil Dawson. And Phil, first and foremost, do you feel Paul Chryst is the right fit for the Badgers program?
Without question. I mean, as you said, he's a Madison native. He not only coached here twice, he played at the University of Wisconsin. He's a guy that's been targeted, even in the last setting when Barry Alvarez had to go and find Gary Anderson. Paul Chryst was right at the top of the list, but he had just helped Paul get that job at Pitt, his first head coaching job. So he's a guy that's always been on the radar, and certainly now that there's an opening, it seems like the perfect fit for Wisconsin.
Well, Phil, we know the ties Paul Chryst has to Madison and how much he loves Wisconsin, but do you think this could turn out to be a very Brady Hokelike hire in terms of looking past his resume and record and focusing more on the fact that he loves the school?
You know, it's a good question, because what we do know about him as a head coach so far is that he's 19-19. He's 500. But when he was here as an offensive coordinator, he set record numbers for the University of Wisconsin. He made bad quarterbacks into good ones and then made great ones into even better ones, i.e. Russell Wilson. But as a head coach, he stepped into a program at Pitt that had a bunch of turnover, going through two head coaches before he got there, and still kind of cleaning up the mess. I think he's destined to be a head coach at Wisconsin, and it's just destiny all meeting. And he certainly is under that, Wisconsin man or Wisconsin guy. He's a Badger, whatever it will be. But I think for the right reasons, because Wisconsin's a unique place.
All right, in that same vein, Phil, I'm going to take this one step further. Some reports have alluded to the fact that Athletic Director Barry Alvarez, who of course also coached at Wisconsin, is very hands-on, and that could be the reason for Gary Anderson and Brett Bielema leaving early. And surprisingly, would making Paul Chryst head coach allow for Barry to be more hands-on, and how much truth do you think there is to those rumors?
Well, I would start with the truth to the rumors part, because with being hands-on, he hand-selected Brett Bielema to take over the program for him. So there was hands-on, helping a guy in his first head coaching job, learn on the job, if you will. And then after 7 years, then maybe that is just too hands-on for you. That's 7 years later, you got to get out. So it's not like he's pushing guys out, that's for sure. And with Gary Anderson, it was like total autonomy. He would rather be Barry in Naples with, swirling cocktails or whatever, instead of having to be hands-on. He wants to hand this program to somebody to do it. And he can do that with Paul Chryst, but also work hand in hand, because they've worked hand in hand together. And it's always good having a college football Hall of Famer in your corner.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Again, according to a state law, nothing can be made official until December 17th. He is Phil Dawson. Thanks so much for the insight.
Cheers.
And for more surrounding Wisconsin and all things college football related, be sure to keep it locked on CampusInsiders.com.